Hello and welcome. This is my 2013 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon AEV edition, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I installed an onboard handheld shower system. So as this is the AEV edition, it comes with this rear bumper that has the integrated water tank, one on the left, one on the right, and then it's connected between the two sides so that it's leveling out, and it holds about 5 gallons. So the system originally comes with this hand pump from AEV, which comes with an adaptable cap. You take this one off, put this on, thread it in there, and put that in. It works fine. I just wanted something a little better, a little different. So the system's supposed to hold about 5 gallons. I never actually tried it. I have a 5-gallon bucket of water there, and I'm going to see how much it is. It's not completely empty, but I'm going to see just how much it takes. Well, not sure how much of a valid test this was, but it holds a decent amount of water. So let's assume there does hold about 5 gallons. So there's several videos online of people who have done something similar, and they seem to work quite well. I wanted to avoid a couple of the things that they had done. One is I didn't want to put a switch up front that you have to turn on, then you run back here, use the water, and then you run back and turn it off, and in the meantime the water is just wasting. Because in a bucket, 5 gallons may seem like a lot, but when you're out in the desert somewhere and you have only 5 gallons in your bumper, it's not a lot. And the second thing I wanted to avoid is I did not want to drill through sheet metal at all. So that brought me to this solution. And this is called a diaphragm pump. And what they do is they build up pressure, and when they reach a certain pressure, they shut off, which makes it ideal for what I did here. So I have the hose hooked up to the pump. I have it hooked up into my cigarette adapter. It is turned on, and it simply works. You can use this to hose yourself down. You can use this to hose the Jeep down. The pump runs only when there's pressure necessary. And as you can see, there's a decent amount of pressure here. But by using the diaphragm pump instead of a constantly running pump, you avoid the pump running while there's no water output. You avoid the risk of blowing a fuse, and so forth. So I think this is a relatively good solution, and it is pretty inexpensive. So the other choice I had to make is where I'm going to mount the outlet. And again, I didn't want to drill. I have seen some people that they drill into the bumper and put a quick connect through there, which again looks cool, but I did not want to drill through that. I looked at options of connecting to the trailer hitch here, and I didn't really want it to be anywhere near endangering or crushing it during the angle of the approach angle. So that eliminated that. So I simply have it in here, and when I'm done with it, I turn it off. Do turn it off, otherwise it's just going to spray immediately. But you just disconnect it, keep it in the back with your gear, or put it in a bag or something, and that's it. As long as it's not hooked up, nothing's going to happen to it. If I do turn it on, it's obviously going to spray because there's no check ball in there or anything. So what this actually is, it is a 12-volt car wash system. It comes with a nozzle, it comes with a hose, comes with a quick connects, it comes with a pump, and it comes with a cheesy little intake tube that I did not use. I replaced it with a more substantial hose that I think actually belongs to some of my aquarium equipment, but the difference between the two is obvious. And some of the reviews also said that the suction of the pump actually collapses this hose, which I can see happening. So I discarded that and I used my own. So the way I hooked this up is relatively simple. I'm going to show you how I did it on this AEV bumper. If you're doing this on a non-AEV bumper, you'll have to modify it a little bit, but the basic hookup is going to be the same. So the two halves of the AEV water tanks are connected by this tube right here, which is some kind of a vinyl tube. but it happens to be exactly 1/2 inch diameter, which means that it is the same size as CPVC, it is the same size as copper tubing, and it's the same size as PEX. And what that means is that you have a plethora of options for tapping into it. So this is the lowest point of it. This comes from the left tank, goes over to the pipe, and goes over to the right tank. And so I cut this section out, and I use this 1/2 inch T-fitting with these quick connects, which you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. They're usually called like shark connectors, and this one was less than 10 bucks. And then I used a small section of PEX tubing, and then I used the other end of my aquarium hose to connect to that, so it makes a smooth angle. I don't know if you can see that, and it disappears into the fender. So I'm trying to find a place inside the fender there to mount it, and again, I didn't want to drill or cut into sheet metal, so I didn't find any way to secure it there. I then looked about putting it inside behind the left rear taillight, and also didn't find anything suitable, so I simply ran the hose through here, and right on top behind this cover is a grommet through which a wiring harness runs. Now mine only has one harness in there. If you have a hardtop, I suspect you may have more than one harness for the rear wiper and washer, but mine only had one. So I simply ran the hose through there, connected it to the input of the pipe, of the input of the pump, and mounted the pump itself to this roll cage trim piece, which simply comes off. First you take the seatbelt trim piece off, and then this whole piece off, and the pump has 3 holes for mounting, and it fits perfectly there. And that's basically it. I spent more time thinking about how to do this than actually doing it. And the 12-volt car wash system, I'll put a link in the description. They're available on Amazon, of course. And they have a smaller version that comes with a slightly smaller pump that I chose not to get. Prices vary, but this one seems to have a decent amount of pressure and works good. So I don't think I would recommend the smaller one. And as you can see with the pump turning itself off and on, you're not wasting any water at all. It's all just where you want it, when you want it. And it's got a decent amount of pressure behind there. And that's it. It's a relatively easy project. The 12-volt car wash system, obviously get online, and then a trip to your local hardware warehouse and get, if you're doing it with the AEV pumper, you're gonna get the 1/2 inch connection of your choice. I did, like I said, change the inlet, the intake hose, so I would recommend you do that, because this one really just won't cut it for this purpose here. And plenty of pressure, and not a single ounce of water is wasted by having to run up front to turn the switch off and on while it's running. So I hope this is of use to some people, and that you get have some fun doing this, and you take it out on the trails and get to use it, and also when you go camping, obviously. So thank you for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.